Good Shabbos to you and welcome to my weekly Dvar Torah. This week I'm going to share a Dvar Torah from someone called Rav Aharon Levin. He was a victim of the Holocaust who was one of pre-war Poland's best known and most respected rabbis. Rav Aharon Levin was born in 1879 and he was the Rav of a place called Sambor and later of a city Rzeszów. He was also one of Agudas Yisrael's elected representatives in the Polish Sejm, that was the parliament. Tragically, in the summer of 1941, he was murdered in Lvov by Nazi collaborators. May his memory be a blessing. I would like to share something that Rav Aharon Levin said about this week's Parshat Chayei Sarah. The pasuk at the beginning of Bereshis chapter 24, Perek Chavdalad, says as follows: V'Avraham zaken baba yamim, v'Hashem berach et Avraham bakol. And Abraham was old, advanced in days, and the Lord blessed Avraham with everything. The Gemara says, until Abraham there was no aging. Consequently, someone who wanted to speak to Avraham would mistakenly speak to Isaac, and vice versa. And as a result of all the confusion, Abraham prayed to Hashem for mercy, and aging became a factor. And that's why it says, V'Avraham zaken baba yamim, and Abraham was old, he was advanced in days. The problem with this idea, with this Gemara, is that it's totally obvious that old age did exist. It did occur before Avraham. So what exactly is the Gemara talking about? Rav Aharon Levin, in his Sefer Drash V'Ha'in, explains that we have this misconception that being young is actually better than being old. Now that's because we think that while we are young, we can be much more active and adventurous, which means that we're going to have a much more enjoyable time. We're going to have a lot more fun. But of course, this is assuming that we only get pleasure by doing material things and activities. But the truth is, someone who is focused on his internal growth will find out very, very quickly that true satisfaction and happiness is only ever really achieved by attaining one's life's goals. When you're young, you haven't yet achieved your life goals, so you can never feel true satisfaction and happiness. It takes a lifetime to fulfill one's ultimate potential, and only with that will come true pleasure. When describing Avraham Avinu as a zaken, an elder, the Torah was not referring to his biological age. Actually, it was talking about his accomplishments. The Talmud is teaching us that if we focus on internal growth and self-improvement, and we set targets of what it is we want to achieve in life, we will find more and more pleasure as we progress through life. Before Avraham asked God to intervene, the world was focused on material physical pleasures as the ultimate realization of life. Avraham realized that this was so superficial, so silly, so pathetic, and so he insisted to God that things had to change. There had to be a realization that one's achievements are the only measure of true pleasure. Everything else is ephemeral, it's temporary. A good meal only lasts as long as the meal lasts. A pleasant experience is enjoyable while you're there, but as soon as it's over, it's over. But if you are ready for the long haul, if your life is not just about today and tomorrow, but about a future in years and decades ahead, you are heading for a period of joy and happiness that transcends any of the ordinary pleasures that we experience day to day. Which means that even though you're old or getting older, pleasure and happiness is only going to increase and your life will get more meaningful. I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully you will have a beautiful Shabbos and a wonderful week ahead. Shabbat Shalom.